everyone, it's Roger here from Vinylmation with webcast number 6. That's right, we're in for the 6th webcast where we're going to be discussing Vinylmation news that we've had in the last week. It's been a very busy week, which just meant I decided to do a brand new episode this weekend. So there's been lots of news coming out this week, including the Food and Wine Festival. We've had the Christmas Carol. We've also had the Gravity Falls Mabel. We've even had some news on Big Hero 6. So let's kick things right off with this week's big release, which kicked off with the Christmas Carol blind box series, which was released in the United Kingdom. Now this set is a 12-piece set, and it features characters from the Christmas Carol movie, featuring Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald Duck, Scrooge McDuck. You got Daisy, Pete, and Goofy in there. So lots of characters and lots of sort of artwork design. They've been a pretty popular set over here in the United Kingdom. They got released early for some bizarre reason. I don't know if that was because they maybe got put back in the US. But they are due out next week in the United States at the parks and also in Disney Store. They were designed by Enrique Peter. So because it is a Disney Store release, does explain why the UK got it, but it also explains why there hasn't been a huge amount of information coming out at first. Now, I actually managed to get a couple of boxes of these this week on an order, and there will be a video going up later on that. And also, so as you can see with this set, it's lots of design. Very rare that we get a 12-piece set, but I think they obviously decided they wanted to go with it. It was one of those sets, I think, that has caught a lot of people's attention. There has been other sort of talk that, some people, like myself, think maybe there's a lot of Christmas-themed figures to get for that. But generally, I think they're a really good design. I think just in general, right here, I was kind of ruining the video a bit later on, but this is one of the characters I got, was Scrooge McDuck. Really cool figure. It's also just very, very rare that the UK gets something before the US. We've had like 3 or 4 releases this year. We've only had, I think, Aladdin Juniors, Villains, and Robots Villains. And now this one here, we don't get a lot, so that was quite a surprise having that out in the UK. But like I said, I think this is a really cool design. I love the artwork. I love how they've gone in a different direction for this, and I think in general, I think they're going to be very, very popular. However, like I said, they're going to be popular maybe for the next couple of months. I think pressed the wrong button then. What's going to happen after that is, I think once they go past January, I think, if there's any still for sale, they ain't going to last very long before they get discounted. I hope in some ways they've maybe made quite a small production run on that, but that's just my own personal guess. We also have news on the Chaser, which was sent in to us at the beginning of the week by Chris over in the UK. She was able to get hold of the vinyls, which include Scrooge McDuck and a junior, which is Jimmy the Cricket. Now, some people actually already had said that this was going to be the case because on the actual packaging, it actually does say about there being a sort of a 1-inch in there, which kind of does indicate that there's a junior in the pack, but they have to do that just from a legal point of view. I can say that it is they're really cool figures, and I love the Christmas Carol story and the whole characters. So this is, I think, just having Scrooge like this just looks really cool, and I love the junior there. I think they've done a lot of detail on this. I think Enrique Peter's done an amazing job. So that's the Chaser there. So that was the Christmas Carol. So that's the main big release. Like I said, they'll be out next week in the United States. We've also had some other bits and pieces of news, including the Big Hero 6 announcement came out that there's going to be a blind box series coming out in November. We already knew about this, but the Disney Park blog has just put out that there will be a load of merchandise available, unsurprisingly. But this is our first official look but we did see them at the San Diego Comic-Con and also at the Imagination Gala. It looks pretty cool. Without seeing the movie yet, it's a bit difficult. For some bizarre reason here in the UK, the movie is not going to be out until I think February half term. So I've got to wait a few more months compared to the US guys. But my plan is to pick up maybe a couple of these if they're out in the UK. So there we go. So that's the Big Hero 6. They'll be coming out in November, but we'll be dealing with that one when they come out. We've also had a couple of other big releases this week, including the Food and Wine Festival Vinylmation was released, which featured Chef Lewis from The Little Mermaid. So as you can see, this was the artwork that was put out. It's a limited edition 2,500. There's a edition size on the variant. I think it's just 1 in 10, so there's only 250 of the variant version. And where it looks a bit sort of scuffed. I just think it's a really cool design. I think anything, obviously, because it's Little Mermaid theme, it's going to be popular. And then you've obviously got the Food and Wine Festival, which is even more popular. It's just an odd choice that suddenly it's just come out sort of today, or this last Friday in the United States. The actual event's been going on since September. So there's been a lot of sort of people just sort of saying, when's this coming out? They want to get hold of it. When is it coming out? It is now out. You can only get it in Epcot itself, so it's in the little stores around the World Showcase Lake and also at Mouse Gears. Again, I think it's a fantastic figure, and I think it's going to be very popular. I think even at limited edition size 2,500, it's probably going to sell out quite quickly as people buying multiples to get the variants. But should you want to get hold of the common, you give it a couple of weeks, it probably will sort of stabilize in price. It's always a bit pricey within the first couple of days when something brand new comes out that is exclusive. We don't tend to get too many releases like this. And then finally this week we saw the Mabel Gravity Falls Eachez that was brought out. So this is limited edition size 1,500, again with a variant of 1 in 10. So there's 150 of the variant version, which is the sort of the yellow t-shirt. Now this again is going to be very popular for Gravity Falls fan. I myself haven't watched Gravity Falls, so it's not a big thing for me. I know it's sold out online on Disney.com. That's not really surprising. Pretty much everything sells out online because they only put, I think, a very small percentage, maybe even only 10% of the total edition size online. So even though it does sell out on there, it probably will be in the parks for a little bit longer. As with any of the Eachez, because you've got the Eachez element, it will probably sell out very quickly because people are buying multiples to try and get hold of the variants. But should you want the standard figure, the typical things usually apply. You'll be able to pick it up later. Rather cool design. I think the Gravity Falls figures, they are very bright, very colourful, and they seem to fit the Vinylmation mode perfectly. I will be honest, I've not really seen the Gravity Falls cartoon, so I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't know what is going on with this character. She's obviously really popular because Thomas Scott has designed like 6 figures this year to be. We've had her and another variant for the animation set. There's this one, there's a twin pack coming out, and she's also going to be in the Gravity Falls set. So there's a lot of us going, why have we got so many Gravity Falls? They've pretty much sort of killed this character within sort of 3-4 months with so many releases of the character. Okay, so she's got lots of t-shirts, and I get that that's one of the sort of things that she does. But it does seem a little strange to see that many figures released of one character in such a short time. I don't think even Mickey Mouse has managed to get that many in such a short time. Now, this leads me on to a bit of a discussion point that I wanted to just bring up and share some of my own thoughts on this week. With both, actually everything other than the Big Hero 6, the Christmas Carol, the Food and Wine, and these Mabel Eachez, Disney just aren't announcing anything at the minute. The official website hasn't had hardly any updates at all. Officially, we have got no dates on our calendar for as far as the official website goes. The actual official Facebook page hasn't been updated since August. I don't know if if there's a changeover at the site of who's actually running it, but at this precise minute, I mean, it's been for the last few weeks, it's just a surprise on a Friday what comes out. If something goes online, it's good. I mean, Mabel, we didn't really actually officially hear until it popped up on Disney Store on Friday morning. And the Food and Wine Festival figure, no, it was rumours coming around from that cast members where had found it, and then it was coming out this week. But again, no official news. Christmas Carol came out in the UK. We found out about that weeks ago because we only get a little banner, but that's all we get. But there's been no official word from the US side of things. All the trade night Eachez have been a bit like this, where we saw all these previews at the Imagination Gala of all what's coming up in the future, yet their official website doesn't indicate any of this. It would make sense to at least put on there coming soon, coming in November, Big Hero 6, coming next year, Peter Pan. There's no information on there at all, and it is quite, it's bad enough for us as a website that sort of shares the news, everything is last minute, and we're not too sure quite what's going on. But if you're actually trying to pick up these figures, you don't know when anything's coming out. It's quite bizarre, and so whatever's going on over at Disney, I hope they sort it out soon, because I think as much as it's a lot of fun just having last minute releases at D Street and online, and it brings an extra element of fun in it. People like to plan. You can't just drop like Christmas Carol or a 12-piece set onto people and expect them just to rush out and buy it if they haven't planned for it. And Eachez is slightly different. I understand what they've been doing with the trade night ones, with just dropping them because they have only got a limited amount. But I think for a lot of these figures, they need to kind of start. They're obviously got them. They know they're coming out because of the Imagination Gala. Like Thomas Scott was at the New York City Comic Con showing off all these figures, but officially, again, no information. Very, very bizarre. Very, very different. And I hope they fix that soon. Anyway, guys, I would like to hear your thoughts on what do you think's going on with sort of at the minute. We've gone through this before. It could just literally be a staffing issue. I have joked around the fact that maybe whoever does the site is on vacation or something like that. Anyway, guys, I'd just like to hear your thoughts on what you think's going on. As again, officially, we don't really know of anything coming up. I'm expecting the last trading night Stitch Eachez to be dropped at any time, and we've also got all the Christmas themed figures that I would suspect will be in stores next week. We've got the Tinkerbell Eachez, we've also got a twin pack and a few other bits and pieces, so they could be dropping at any point, so keep an eye on Vinylmation Kingdom for all your information on that. And I shall see you again on the next episode of the Vinylmation Kingdom Webcast. Thank you very much for watching, guys.